بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كن لوليك حجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
سورة المباركة الفاتحة. بسم الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين شفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وحبيب قلوبنا أبو الزهراء المصطفى عبد القاسم محمد. والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، ولعنة الله الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته جميعا.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I begin in the name of Allah, most merciful, most beneficent. All praise truly belongs to the Lord of the universe. I ask Almighty Allah, exalted and supreme, to send His peace and blessings upon His most beloved creation and His final messenger, the Holy Prophet and His holy household. Salawat. As the famous tradition goes in Arabic, Man lam yushkur al-makhluq, lam yushkur al-khaliq. The one who does not give thanks to the created can never give thanks to the Creator. Hence, I would like to start today by giving a few thanks. First and foremost, to the youth committee at Ahlebayt for continuously, progressively organizing a series of lectures that preceded me with Sayyid Kazwini and also with the next forthcoming nights. So please recite one salawat for these individuals and their families. The second thank you that I would like to extend is to the senior management of Ahlebayt, who are providing these lectures for the youth as well as the English-speaking audience that we have in this community of Leeds. So please recite one loud salawat for them also. And my final thank you is to all of you who've come, taken time out, invited me to spend these last few precious days of the holy month of Ramadan, a month which has been stated by the Holy Prophet himself as Shahrullah, the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this month that's been attributed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't been attributed by any lay person, it's been attributed by the Holy Prophet himself. in his final sermon, or not his final sermon, but the sermon that preceded this holy month to his followers, in which, and I'd like to relate some of this to you. He starts off by saying, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم أيها الناس, O people, إنه قد أقبل إليكم شهر الله, a month has approached you, which is the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ببركات ورحمة ومغفرة, a month laden with blessings, mercy and forgiveness. شهر هو عند الله أفضل الشهور وأيامه أفضل الأيام والليالي أفضل الليالي وساعته أفضل الساعات. A month whose months are the best months of all the year, whose days are the best of all days, whose hours are the best of all hours. Finally proceeding to say, هو شهر دعيتم فيه إلى ضيافة الله. It is a month in which you have been invited as the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm sure many of you who heard this sermon have memorized it and know it off by heart. But the point that I'm trying to make is simply this. What is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared? What has He prepared for His guests in this month? He's called us His guests. So we're all invited. He's also attributed this month as His month. So what has He provided for us as His guests? What has He provided for us in the month that He attributes to Himself? Please recite one salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Now, unlike the holidays that we're used to in our annual calendar, holidays that we get from our governments, from our leaders or our rulers, depending which part of the world you come from our monarchs. For example, we have the Queen's Jubilee coming up next year. She gives us a day off. We had Prince William's wedding. We had, I think, 3 days off. I wasn't here. In which what happened? When these days that have been attributed to these figures, historically and present, they give us days off because they're attributed to them. In which we're allowed to, number one, take a day off work. What do we do in this day, in these holidays? We oversleep, we'll get up later, we'll overeat, we'll overdrink, we'll overspend. Because normally in holidays we also find that there's many sales that are on, like for Boxing Day, for example, or New Year's. So there's major bargains to be got, and we tend to benefit from those. But are these days really holy days? If you look at the word holiday, it's actually originally a combination of two words, holy and day. But we find, in essence, there's no such holiness in these days. They're only days where we're self-indulging. Allah Almighty and Exalted, on the other hand, He doesn't have just a holy day, which is the day that's just past today, Jum'ah, Friday. He has a holy month. So what has He prepared for us? Our monarchs. I was in Kuwait recently, and in Kuwait I've heard that when they have certain particular days that are attributed to the heads of states, what they do is they don't only give the people holidays where they are able to relax, like I mentioned, but they also go out and they have what they call forgiveness. So they will release prisoners. They will also provide money. They will provide sometimes gold, and even forgive people their mortgages and loans and say, look, we've scrapped everything, you're free. So what is our Lord, in a month that's attributed to Him, going to do for us? Or has done for us? Let's analyze that. First and foremost, there's no days off.